Nabila?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, awesome.
All right, now
Okay.
I can hear you. Okay, great.
Okay,
Sorry about
anyway, I
that.
was saying, yeah, no
Yeah.
worries. I was saying that, yeah, this positive mindset topic, right? It's a very big topic on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just dissect it further by taking it bit by bit and step by step.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, my cheeks, I was, I had an itchy finger, I went to burst the pimple. That's why. But anyway, yes, yes. Anyway, I was saying that let's dissect it step by step, right? So, what are some mindset, Nabila, maybe you can share that on a day-to-day basis is your guiding principle, or what are some mindset that you have?
I mean, I wouldn't really. I'm not conscious about the mindset, but I'm very
Okay.
conscious about the habits that I have daily.
Habits.
And I think that would, in a way, perpetuate the mindset, like indirectly or directly affects the mindset. So what I do on a daily basis, which I've been practicing for over a year now, is journaling. And one of the
Journaling.
things I do is gratitude journaling as well. And this, I mean, it would spark positive emotions in me when I do this gratitude journaling. And I mean, just naturally, I would have a more positive outlook in life because of that. When I reflect on my day and I think about the things that I'm thankful for, that makes me feel very happy. I won't, I mean, there are days where I feel low, there are days where I feel like crap, but initially I used to take it on myself. Like I try to solve the problems on myself. I'm still learning and learning that I can reach out to people and ask them for help and surround
Yeah.
myself with supportive people who will remind me that, things are going to be okay. Remind me that, there's literally light at the end of the tunnel. So that helps for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So I hear that you mentioned, like gratitude journaling, positive emotions, positive outlook, reflection, surrounding yourself with supportive people. I totally agree with
Yeah.
that as well. All right, something that I personally practice. You were sharing your daily habits, right? So I personally, if you can see the wall, so our chant empowering beliefs. Because of this thing, thoughts lead to action, action leads to beliefs. Action leads to results. So if I have empowering thoughts, which in equivalent to positive mindset, the action in return will be something empowering or something positive. In turn, of course, you have decent results, lah, right? So
Yeah.
to me, that's what I do on a daily basis. And besides that, like what you mentioned, journaling. So that's where I write at the end of the night, right? And lastly,
Nice.
like get friends, right? You're the average of 5 friends. So if we may summarize these things, I guess having a positive mindset may also include having positive habits, right? That will cultivate you as a person. So if I may
Absolutely.
say that, if I may say that positive mindset is just a very big umbrella. Underneath, there's like, okay, having a positive habit, having positive thought process, maybe having positive friends that's surrounding you, that's pushing you forward. So
Yeah.
as I'm saying, as I'm sharing, right? So positive mindset, positive habits.
There's also this book
Positive.
by Carol Dweck. I'm sure you're familiar
Okay.
with her.
No,
Called
you want to share?
this book, and she talked about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So the
Okay.
fixed
Yes.
mindset is, just to simply put, is when you put yourself in the box, you feel that your limit is just this, like you're not able to grow anymore. But the growth mindset believes in your potential. The growth mindset feels that, she has this TED talk called the power of yet. So it's like not yet. You're not there yet, but you have all this potential to
Yep.
grow and be the person that you want to be. Yeah. So that is in a nutshell the growth mindset. Yeah. That you are this like big
I
ball
like that.
of potential. You're just
Yep.
waiting to grow into really. Yeah.
So talking about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, right, reminds me of another analogy that people like to come up with: victor versus a victim.
Tell me
Yeah.
more.
For example, when something bad happened to you, you will say, "Ha, my life suck," blah blah blah. But whereas if you have the victor's mindset, you're like, "Oh, because that happened to me, I will not let myself or anybody else experience that ever again, and hence I want to change something." So that is very aligned with what I just mentioned, growth mindset. So, why and no, maybe I want to ask the both of us, right, challenge ourselves. How do we cultivate this growth mindset actually?
How do we cultivate this growth mindset? That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, when you ask
Right,
me
how
this,
do we cultivate?
I think about this framework I learned in positive psychology called Broaden and Build. Are you aware of that?
Nope. Broaden what?
So, Broaden and Build.
Okay, broaden and build.
So the name of the psychologist who came up with this theory, Broaden and Build, her name is Barbara Fredrickson, and the idea is when you are deliberate in sparking positive emotions in you, right? Okay, think of it. Let me give you an analogy. You go to work, you had a great day, you finish work at 5:30, and then your friends ask you out for drinks, like let's hang out. You are more likely to say yes, to go and have fun, as compared to you had a crappy day at work, right? And then you feel so lousy about it. When your friends ask you, I suppose your immediate
Natural,
reaction, your natural reaction would be, I had a bad day. I just want to go home and like curl up in a ball on my bed or something like that.
yes,
Okay,
true.
but
True.
what is Broaden and Build theory, right? Is if you put yourself out there, right? If you have positive emotions, you force yourself this position of positivity, you would broaden you're able to, no, you broaden the way you think, you broaden the way you see things, right? And you try to have a different perspective, and because of that, you are able to build on your resources. Meaning, for example, if you are able to, despite having a bad day, right? Imagine if you had a class in the evening, you go for that class, you are able to take in new ideas, you are able to absorb whatever this person is saying, and therefore you build your resources. And then that it becomes like a cycle. Go back to that positive emotion. It would make you feel happy because you did that. So it becomes a cycle. Makes any sense?
So,
I
so
think
would you say that?
work. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that in order for you to even do this broaden and build, right, it starts with a choice, right?
Yeah,
it all begins with the choice. Like you need to choose to, you need to choose to take on that. You know what? I would never. I mean, I wouldn't want to stay in this fixed mindset. I choose to handle or have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
So now my question for everybody, for everyone, or like all of us, right, is what can we do tomorrow so that we can have a better or more positive mindset? So what can we do tomorrow? You know, Nabila, like what's your take on that? What can everybody, like all the audiences, right, do tomorrow so that they can wake up with a better mindset? Yeah, hi guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I suppose
I know just now you mentioned journaling.
I suppose it starts with a decision to, want to do things differently. Because it's very comfortable to, do things the way you are used to. It's very easy to, when things go wrong, you blame someone or you blame yourself. It's very easy to do that because you're so used to that sort of behaviors. Changing is hard. So I guess it starts with making a choice that you want to do things differently. And for me personally, I believe that the fastest way to get to where you want to be is to surround yourselves with people who are already where you want to be. Because their energy would just inevitably just like rub off on you. And the more time you spend with them, right, you just somehow start to emulate their characteristics, their behaviors, their positivity just rubs off on you. And I mean, that's something I'm very conscious about, like surrounding myself with positive people, at work as well, my personal circles as well. Like, I make sure I try my best to curate my time and spend time with people who are positive. And that's very important for me. Like, I think that's the easiest way to do it because you have that support instead of like trying to like through this whole process on your own.
Totally agree with that. That's why when I was first starting out on this personal development journey, same thing. I'll pay for a lot of events, network with people, meet people, and go for such sessions together. That's how we keep each other accountable as well. So
I like what you mentioned. I really like what you mentioned about going for events because it is okay to meet like-minded people. When you join events like this, you tend to meet people who also want to be in the same space, in the same like headspace, want to be in the same journey as you. So I really like what you mentioned.
So I guess there was this activity that helped me a lot to cultivate a better thought process and belief system, which I mentioned on the board earlier. So I just want to share with the audiences as well. So first thing first, something that you all can do immediately tomorrow or whatever, right? You will have a slightly more positive mindset, and of course, it's your choice to play all out, right? First thing first is write down a list of empowering beliefs that you will have. For example, like my case is always give value.
What's an empowering belief, Daryl?
So empowering belief are thought process or mindset, okay, that will bring you forward, will bring you up. These empowering beliefs are things like I'm afraid, I'm too lousy, I'm not good enough. They bring you down, right? And for all you know, right, these empowering beliefs are usually false, not true stuff. It's just what you feed yourself with. So what I personally done, it was from one of these course that I went, right? It's Knowledge Broker Brooklyn by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So they shared with me this exercise. So you list down at least 5 to 10 empowering beliefs. So for example, people are always kind. There are actually people out there who say humans are not kind, you know. So having such thought process or mindset, where would that bring them to? Maybe slightly selfish or whatever. So you just list down all your empowering ones. Means people are kind, always give value, always be kind, play all out every day, for example, and I have a gift to share. So I list out. So I also list out on the other end 5 these empowering beliefs that I personally possess. I have. For example, I'm too young to achieve something. I am too lazy. I have no money. I'm lousy. You know, I'm not deserving to make money. So when you have this whole list, the next activity is the most important part. Okay, you choose out. You shortlist maybe 3 empowering ones and 3 disempowering ones. For the disempowering belief, I want you to debunk it. What I meant is that if I said I'm too lazy, just challenge yourself. When was the last time you were driven? When was the last time you were determined? And you actually write it down. Oh, I was determined last night. At that moment, you realize there's an awakening. It's like, hey, shit, I'm bluffing myself all this while. So if you tell yourself that I'm not worthy to make money, ask yourself, when was the last time you actually made money and you're worthy of it? Hey, oh yeah, 3 weeks ago, I made money, this. I've done that. So when you do such exercises, it's really just to shake yourself back up. And more importantly, right, is the habitual side of things. For myself, I will see this whiteboard every single morning and I'll say it loudly. I always give value. I'm always kind. I will play all every single day. Happiness is a choice, and I have a gift to share. That's how I start my day with. So I guess going back to what you said is a combination of 2 things lah. For me, it's extreme. It's 3 things: positive mindset, positive habit, and positive environment. That's why I will decorate my wall until like this, you know. Yeah, so maybe that's something that is actionable for you guys. Not just listen to what we have to say, but rather like take it in and execute on it. Yep.
I like the tips. Yeah, it's doable and it's something everybody can do. And
yeah,
I like it.
For the 9 of you here, any question that you have for us? It's a topic that, you know, we thought that this period, you know, like having COVID and a lot of people struggling with finances, like bad body clock and whatever, I myself included, you know. So we thought that, like, you know, having such sharing would be value adding to you guys. Like, how can we, despite this situation,
you brought up COVID as well. Yeah, I mean, I have a question for you. Like,
yeah,
you
sure.
started practice right way before it started. I'm sure. I mean, for COVID thing unfolded, and so have you been doing that before this period? Because I think the COVID period is a very tough time for everybody, and I'm wondering if like that would be a lot hard to be positive and to write down this to do this activity, especially during this time? Like, is it okay to not feel okay during this period? Like, that's what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, I guess that was something that I spoken to my friend who's a therapist, right, the other, I think 2 weeks ago. So he actually
Yeah.
said this. Yeah, he said when it comes to mental wellness, right, it's giving yourself time to be not okay. To be not okay. Yeah, correct. Give yourself time to be not okay. And the way he put it is super good. It's like for physical injury or physical health or whatever, you notice that maybe you have sprained your ankle, not too painful, you still walk on, right? But when you can't walk, then that's where you need to see someone. You seek help. Same thing, right? For positive mindset, for stuff. If you still can function, yeah, people don't seek for help. But when you realize that it's too bad, you can't function on your own, and that's the time for you to find a friend or find someone professional to seek help from. And going back to answer your question, right? I actually documented on my journal. So I started this exercise. I guess it's on the 16th of March. Yep.
Yeah.
So it has been 1 month plus for now, and I guess along the way I kind of took it for granted. There were some days I just say it without any emotion. I say it without any feeling to it. But more importantly, is really how you give meaning to things matters the most lah. How you give meaning to things. So for me, I will always hold both hands on my heart and I say it very loudly. I'll always be kind. I always give value. Happiness is a choice. After saying that, I'll naturally smile, and I said that like I'm gonna play all out every single day, and I have a gift to share. Then the next half is to debunk my limiting beliefs. I'll say I've achieved more than average 25 years old. I've done a lot for my family. My net worth doesn't define my worth, and or people older than me actually learn from me. Yeah, so all these are just to debunk my old beliefs. And when I actually hold my heart and I say it loudly, and I'll end off by, I'm Daryl, I can do it. Done. So that's like my usual daily routine. Yeah, so maybe some of you can actually try and implement it so that you can introduce that positivity in your life. Alternatively, like
So
what
one thing
Nabila does, gratitude journaling. Yeah.
one thing I noticed about you is that no matter how you feel, you're very consistent with your habits. And I think that helps you to stay afloat. That's the sense I get from you based on what you're saying.
Yeah.
So no
like,
matter how you wake up in the morning, right, you just keep affirming yourself, keep mentioning those mantras to yourself in the morning.
Yes, exactly.
Despite
so that's what I would do.
Despite anything, yeah. There's a
Yeah,
question
even
here.
yeah, sure.
There's a question. How do you balance public judgment and your own perception?
How do you balance public judgment and your own perception?
Maybe society has certain expectations of you, and then you have your own way of doing things. So how do you find a balance between?
Okay, I really like this question because I'm someone that obviously, if you look at the society norm, I am definitely feeling it. Last year, I changed job 4 times. Right, I'm not the best student. I document my journey so transparently on social media. At the end of the day, just ask yourself one simple question. By doing this, are you happy? Like that's as how simple it is. Like I quit my previous job to join Praxium. I didn't really look at the pay. It's literally just because it's aligned with my mission. And it's number one, it satisfies my personal need of chasing a mission. Number two, I put my skill set into place. And number three, ultimately, I'm impacting the people that I want to impact. So the rest doesn't really matter, because if you look at the hierarchy of needs or whatever, like mine is at the top, which is self-actualization. I really want to satisfy or like help as many people as possible. The rest, the opinion of others really doesn't matter to me. So that is just my personal take on this issue because I know some people will always struggle with fear of judgment, right?
It's a little like, because I struggle with that a little bit as well, fear of judgment. But I think I think I'm making a lot of positive steps in trying to unlearn all these behaviors. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of like conscious effort. Asking for feedback from people who you really respect and who knows who has your best interest at heart. So those things really help, and it's a process of really unlearning a lot of things and giving yourself the space and time to grow into that as well. Yeah, so I really respect your worldview about like not really thinking about what people think of you, and just going for what you believe in because it brings you joy and you know that you can make an impact. Yeah.
I think I need to balance things a little bit. So my parents, before I even got into like this personal development journey, right, the both of them are very critical, and they said that like, hey son, you always start things and you quit halfway, you fickle-minded. When someone says such stuff to you, you need to do yourself a favor by taking time to internalize, hey, how much of that is actually true? I think before we even move on to say whether don't care other people or care other people's judgment, ask yourself how much of that statement is actually true. You don't be denial, and you don't deny it by saying nah, no, everybody is talking nonsense. At the same time, you ask yourself, is this a constructive feedback pushing you up or not? If it's something just saying that, hey, you damn ugly, you damn ugly, how to change? Like, but if someone says something that's very internal, means you're not as hardworking, you're very lazy, okay, then it's possible to change. So you really need to spend some time to think whether, hey, this guy, is he giving me constructive feedback or not? How much of that is true and not true before you even take it in further lah. So that was my own personal journey, and that's something that I can share. I guess I'm crazy over Gary V. Gary V's helped me the most. He just literally said this: we are all gonna die. So you can either spend your years, right, worrying about people's thoughts, or alternatively, just let your own thoughts be playing in your mind and just chase after the dreams. Yeah, really. And for all you know, each time you say out your fears, right, and that's where you build a bigger tribe. That's the cold truth. Because you're super relatable to everybody and people will want to support you. Yeah.
Cool. Do we have other questions from?
Yes, correct. So another question here is, why is positive mindset important actually? Why is it important?
Why is it important?
Yeah. Personally, it's important to me because
I think
I just want more. I just want more out of life. I just cannot just get by day by day. I mean, like personally, I just try to push myself to the next level. Yeah.
great. And like on
Yourself?
a very practical level, some level of positivity is important for moving forward, for getting yourself out of a negative situation. And like in the larger scheme of things, like it's something that you need to have, like it's an essential ingredient for you to thrive in life.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I think if I can even share, right, suddenly I got inspired, right? I guess having positive mindset is basically how I will say this is you having a set of tools, right, that you can use when necessary. For example, 2 nights before, or last night I think, I attended a life coach webinar talking about having internal dialogues. You're lagging, you're lagging. Hello. Are you there? Can the rest hear me? Say yes if you can hear me. Hello,
Sorry,
can you hear me?
I lost you there a little. Could you repeat? Yeah, could you repeat yourself? I lost you there for a bit.
Okay, sure. So I said that like when to me, right, now suddenly I got inspired, right? Actually, positive mindset, right, is literally having a set of tools that you can use, that you can use when you face adversity. I mean, that's the way I see it. Like I have a note, right? That states what are the different tools that I can use if I face procrastination, if I face fear of judgment, if I face fear of failure. Yeah, I think that's the easiest way to define this. So for example, fear of failure, right? The moment I
Yeah.
experience that, I just zoom into why am I doing this? For example, if I am afraid of talking to the screen, okay, so my focus right now shouldn't be, hey Daryl, you cannot speak because you sound not professional. Maybe those are some thoughts in my head. If I were to shift my entire focus to the audience, I will not be looking at my own fear anymore. And the example will be, I must do my best to make sure that they gain value today. That's why I keep talking about actionable steps in this conversation. Yeah. So yeah, like what Nico said, embrace failure. So my tool is always focusing on a bigger fear from the audience perspective rather than my own fear. Yeah. So that is
So
the first tool that I can think of.
Sorry.
Sorry, you're saying?
So it's about thinking about the people you can impact and the people you can help that will help you
Yep.
to overcome the failure.
Overcome the fear. Correct, exactly. Like if I have a webinar that's coming up and I'm not sure whether how many people participate, correct?
Yeah.
So now I'm caring about my vanity because it will look bad on me if only one person attend my webinar. But if I were to shift my focus on the other side, right, I said, okay, I don't care and I'll prepare myself so well so that even if there's just one person attending this webinar, I'll do my best. Suddenly, boom, this fear of failure just gone, disappear. And instead, I will give my 120% into this project. That is my number one tool for overcoming like fear of failure. Yeah, then there's others, right? Like others like fear of procrastination. Yeah, I mean like when it comes to procrastinating, how do we overcome that? What I'll do, right, is that I'll ask myself, what's the best the best three things that can possibly happen if I were to do it? What's the three worst thing that could ever happen? And what's the most realistic thing considering that I weigh both possibilities already? What's the most realistic thing that could ever happen? Then I'll just execute on it. So these are some activities and tools that I will use to make sure that I am always having this positive mindset as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I think that will be very interesting for you all to have.
Like, just to summarize what Daryl has said, you said quite a bit, and I really like the point about having a toolkit. So having awareness that, okay, this is happening to you, and then digging into your toolkit and then saying, okay, which tool I can use to help me with whatever I'm dealing with right now. So,
Exactly,
but then
my
now
point.
leads to the next question. How do I build this toolkit?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen like that. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. It didn't happen like that. So for me, I always believe in this thing. Now I'm getting super passionate, because these are things that I suddenly got inspired with. For me, whenever I learn from YouTube videos, from books or whatever, right, that can solve my problem, I will take it away, write it in my notebook. I mean, in the iPhone note app, right? So because I always believe that when you solve a problem, right, solving a problem means solve it once and never let it happen again. But when it comes to life emotion, it's very hard. It's very difficult. Like if I face failure, the next thing that come, I will definitely fear of failure coming again and again. But however, if you have this toolkit, then that's your weapon for solving this solution, right? So solving this problem, that's a solution. So number one would be reading. So for me, I read, and when I read, like I said again, I will always type into my handphone note. One thing that I can share with you guys would be Ray Dalio's success loop. If I'm not wrong, it's called success loop. So right now,
can you repeat that again? Sorry.
Ray Dalio's success loop, and that's something that I like it a lot. Okay, here you go. So I don't know whether you can see it. Can you all see it? Yeah. So Ray Dalio's success loop, right, tells you that in life, you're here, you're starting here, stickman. Can you all see the stickman? Yeah. So when you as you go up, right, and you progress, you will see the next obstacle. The next obstacle will cause you to fall. Okay, cause you to fall. And this is the moment where you need to tap into your positive mindset to bring you up. And for all you know, once you're here, you fall again. But guess what? You were here, moving up to here. So was that growth? Was that progress? Definitely. So this success loop, right, helps me with burnouts. For example, whenever I got burnt out, right, I will remind myself, okay, because I progressed from level 1 to level 3, me experiencing negativity, a bit of burnout, it's fine. Whenever I feel that, I'm afraid of failure, same thing, I'll look at this success loop, I'm like, it's okay, I will naturally fail, and I'll go back up again. Success loop.
Yeah.
So it is one of the tools that is in my toolkit. Yeah, now that you mentioned toolkit.
Success loop that you drew, and because of the downward spiral that you go through, right, as the natural progression up the loop, like I think about resilience, and I think it's something we cannot excuse or remove from the equation as well. Like I think go back to the topic about a positive mindset. I think based on what you just said, resilience is an important factor as well. So what do you think about resilience, and how do you cultivate resilience in you?
How did I cultivate resilience in me? Okay. For the longest time, to be honest, I won't call myself, or I won't consider myself as someone with high resilience, right? Or strong resilience. Reason being, I always start projects and I quit them halfway. So that's the judgment I place on myself. But until my therapist friend went to restructure, or not say restructure, unpackage it for me, and I look at things in a different perspective. Like since 20 years old to 25, 5 years of me keep improving myself. From the macro perspective, that's resilience. But from the micro stuff, when I do execute day-to-day things, I might be lacking in that aspect. So how did I even build from 20 years old to 25, right? Constantly pushing myself, goes back down to having a strong why. Yeah. So if you don't have a strong why, you'll quit today. Example, if you can lift a 30 kg dumbbell, you can save your mom's life. No matter what, you will try and do your best to lift it up. But if I ask you to lift the dumbbell for the sake of it, nah, not interested. So would you agree that because there is a strong desire for that guy to live to save the mom's life, he will most likely do it, higher resilience? So to me, the clear answer is having a strong why. Yeah, no matter what.
Some people, they've managed to figure out what their why is, but there's also quite a amount of people who don't know what their why is, living day by day, paycheck to paycheck, just going through life autopilot, if I may use that analogy. So what advice do you have for people who are like that and who want to change? Because I think at first you need to want to change first. Yeah, what can you do to come out of that?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, right, simply just look up or reach out to friends who you respect, who are those friends that who are living a purposeful and passionate life. Simply just reach out to them, whoever that is in your social network, right? Connect with them and ask them for advice. That's the first thing that I can recommend you guys. Second, right, is to tap into your past. So this is something that I share with my students. Always go back to your past. If I never go to Africa and see the African kids, right, I will never know how sad that situation is. I can see on Google, I can see the images, but I'll never ever feel something for them unless I'm super empathetic. Versus me going to a trip to Africa and experience it for myself. Then when I come back, I have a very strong why. Maybe I will say that in the past I experienced hunger in Africa with those people. In the future, I will never ever want anybody to go through that. Presently, I will build a community or organization or whatever to make that mission possible. Yeah. So that's what I meant by really tapping into your experiences.
What question can you ask? Because going to your past can be very elusive. It's also a very scary thing. Yeah. Do you have one or two questions we can ask ourselves just to ground ourselves and be able to make a more meaningful reflection about our past?
Yeah. What have you experienced, right? What was the most intensive emotion you felt when you're younger that broke your heart the most? Like if you just ask yourself one simple question like that, right, you can find out a lot of answers. Your breakup, your parents saying something, the financial situation you're in, especially times like this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you bring yourself back to that experience, for example, I need to give my children food coupons so that they can survive. God damn, that's a very strong emotion, you know. So maybe in the future you tell yourself, I will never ever let my children or my future children, grandchildren or whatever, to experience that ever again. And presently I'll use that as a motivation to push myself to make more wealth. That's about it. Yeah.
But it could also be a case where, okay, I dig into my past, I find out all these answers, but I don't know what to do with the data. Like,
Yeah.
who can I approach? What can I do to move forward? Because if I don't act on it, if I don't make meaningful steps to move forward, then it's just going to be data for me. It's just going to be a reflective piece. So how
Correct.
do I
Agree
move
with
forward?
that. So going back to our topic today, positive mindset. With that
Mm-hmm.
awareness, now you need to be positive enough to take actions. So
Okay.
if you honestly, Google has the most answer. When I was 20 years old, I started with Google as well. Yeah, really for sure. Literally just Google. Now, how to first thing that I searched, right, was how do I reduce fickle-mindedness? That was what I call it. That was what my mom gave me as a criticism, right? So I took it in and I tried to reduce it. Then along the way, I realized that, hey, instead of working on my weaknesses, why not? Let me just work on my strength. So it's a very different mindset, you know. But ultimately, my point here is Google has every single thing you're looking for. You want a support group? Google. Join some Facebook group, connect with people. But of course, if you want something that is more personal and supportive, get a life coach that will guide you through. Yeah, step by step the process. Yeah, alternatively, you can reach out to Praxium. Praxium, we have a supportive team of a team of I wouldn't call us coaches, but more of like supportive individuals that will genuinely want to bring you closer to your dream. Reach out to us. We are always happy to help.
Awesome. Yeah.
Any last question?
Yeah. Any last questions before we wrap up this discussion?
Yeah. So I guess both Nabila and us, we give you a lot of actionable steps. We also give you the broad picture that positive mindset has 3 aspects of things: your thought process, your habits, your environment. Yeah. More importantly, at the end of the day, is really your actions. You can be positive, but you don't implement. There's no point.
Nice. Thank you.
Any other
For those of
last?
you are still with us, could you just share one thing you've learned from today's session in the comment?
Like one quick
For those
away.
who are still
Right
with us,
now.
thanks for staying.
Yep. What's your
Thanks for
one key
joining,
takeaway?
Nicole.
Yeah. What's your one key takeaway from this session, guys? Embrace failure. Yeah. Embrace failure. The rest? What's your one key takeaway? And for all of you for those of you who's keen to start a side hustle while studying, working, or in the army, do join us for our webinar this Saturday 9 p.m. DM Praxium if you're keen. DM Praxium account if you're keen. We'll be sharing that.
What is the webinar about again, Daryl?
How to build a side hustle, as within 30 minutes you can set up your first side hustle. Yep.
Awesome. So
Yep. So I just want to read out some of them. They say that keeping a positive mindset will always do you good. Love how you all highlighted that having positive mindset is a toolkit. Yep. Create habits through various positive mindset tools. Have a strong why. Yes. The managing public judgment and own perception bit. Yep. Know what's your mission. Yeah, correct. Know what you want your life mission. Yeah, your mission for life. Okay, once again, thank you all for being here. For those that just joined, you can check out Praxium's YouTube. This video will be there.
Hi, Myra. Thanks Thanks for joining.
Yeah. So once again, just want to repeat, right? So positive mindset encompasses three stuff: the thought process, the habits, and the environment. More importantly, is the implementation that will bring you forward in life. Not just I am good, I'm worthy, but rather you act that you're worthy. So I always tell my students awareness and action, then that's where you can have changes in your life. So good night, guys. See you all real soon.
Good night. Thanks.
Good night.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Bye.